Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight, and thank you for inviting us. We're honored to be here. We represent the entire city of Santa Clarita, those of us on the council, and those who want to be on the council will also represent all the citizens of Santa Clarita. So glad to be here. It's not my first time here. I've been here before. I enjoy your company. And I will tell you some of the things that I might have told you before, but I moved here 35 years ago with my family because it was a great place to raise a family, good schools, good safety, good environment. And when we moved out here, the hottest place in the Santa Clarita Valley, hottest meaning the coolest places, were the Backwoods Inn, Islands Restaurant, okay? One of the coolest things to do was to go to Frontier Days out here in Canyon Country, right? So 35 years ago, Canyon Country was, in my opinion, the heart of the Santa Clarita Valley. More things happening here than anywhere else. Well, along came cityhood, and things changed a little bit. Not that we didn't care for Canyon Country or do things for Canyon Country. We did. We did. We added parks. We supported the community center here and the Joanne Darcy Library over here. So we did things for Canyon Country. But then the recession hit, and we didn't do a lot of things for a lot of places, right, because of the economy and things like that. However, when the economy started to get better, we focused a lot on Canyon Country. So we're building Vista Canyon. We, the community, all of us, we're building Vista Canyon. That's going to be a fantastic project. It not only adds badly needed housing, but it adds jobs, jobs, jobs. So there are going to be a lot of jobs in Vista Canyon. We've also added the Canyon Country Community Center on our planning radar, and we've broken ground on it, and you can see, you drive past Sierra and Soledad, you can see that whole corner has taken a tremendous change. That's going to be a super project also, that Canyon Country Community Center. And nowadays, community centers are not just places for kids, they're places for seniors also, all right? So we're building that community center with everybody in mind, not just our own. And finally, I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force. I'm a seniors advocate. I support the arts. But I also say the #1 job of community leaders, or council members, is public safety. Thank you.
Question. No, now you get 15 minutes for questions and answers.
Oh.
Okay. Questions?
Cool.
For Mr. Miranda? Come on up.
I thought they were all going to speak and then...
No.
Hi, Elaine. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. Yes, I have a question. Unfortunately, you were the first one because it's going to go to Marcia and Lorraine as well, so they have a hint of what's going to happen. Everyone talks about Santa Clarita being so familial and so much for seniors and whatnot, yet I called the county assessor's office and the city of Los Angeles also, and they put me back to the city of Santa Clarita. Voter indebtedness for seniors, Santa Clarita doesn't give them a break on it. And also for senior housing, there is really nothing that's affordable, and Santa Clarita does not insist upon it like Los Angeles. Los Angeles has to allocate X number of homes or apartments or whatever for fixed income. Why do they not do it here?
Well, we feel like we're doing a lot for seniors. I sit on the Southern California Association of Governments Council, the Community Economic Development and Housing Committee, and so I'm well aware of what's going on in the city of Los Angeles and throughout 88 cities throughout Southern California. I'm honored to be Santa Clarita's representative to CCAC. Housing is a problem throughout California. We need 3.5 million new homes in the state of California by 2025. That's a lot of homes, Elaine. That is a lot of homes. Why do we need those homes? Because there's a tremendous demand for housing in California. There's a very limited supply. And supply and demand, the law of supply and demand says as long as you have...
But the question's not being answered. The question directly is, why do we not allocate X number? In other words, all the new housing in the city of Los Angeles has to be allocated.
Could you let me answer the question, please?
It was never answered.
Somebody else have a question?
Okay, time. Next question, please.
Mr. Miranda, I'm
Hi.
Stephen O'Neill.
Good to see you.
Proposition 10 on the California ballot this year will repeal Costa-Hawkins and give, if it passes, give this city council more authority over rent controls, or rent stabilization, as some people call it. I'd like to know your position on that.
Well, my position is clear on rent control. I'm against it. I'm very much against rent control for the simple reason that when you have rent control, you take away the owner's ability to maintain the residents, to maintain the units. And over time, the units decay. And pretty soon you have slums. And good intentions, affordable housing, rent control, good intentions. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. If you look at places that have implemented rent control, you will see people who live there, all right, are living in mostly old, dilapidated residences because the owners can't afford to keep it up.
Scott Bentley, Circle J. I've got just a simple statement to see if anybody knows the answer, and then a quick question that'll be under this limit. The democracy will cease to exist when you take away from those who are willing to work and give to those who would not. Who said this?
Well, I don't know who said that, but I got to tell you, that's powerful stuff.
Okay, well, I got a question that you can't answer. Should 330 people drive the thought process of our city council over 180,000 people that pay to allow us to be a city? That's a simple yes or no answer.
Well, the answer is no. Hi.
Hello. Judy Tallur, Canyon Country.
Hi, Judy.
What do you envision the City Council working on in the next few years to make Santa Clarita a better place?
Public safety. We need to do more with our sheriff's department. We need to add more deputies. We need to build the new sheriff's station because the new sheriff's station will make every deputy more efficient because it's filled with high technology implementations at the new facility. So we need more deputies, and we need for the deputies to be more efficient to handle public safety. I think that's important. I think the second thing is jobs. We need jobs here in Santa Clarita. We need mortgage-paying jobs. We need workforce jobs here in Santa Clarita with high wages, okay? Mortgage-paying wages, as somebody said. So jobs are important so that we don't have to travel outside of Santa Clarita to go to work. We don't have to jam our roads to go to work. And then the third thing is housing. And, you know, I touched on that already. We're going to have a $3.5 million shortage in housing in the state of California. Not dollars, 3.5 unit shortage in housing in the state of California. That's not, that's not that kind of stuff. That's a McKinsey report. McKinsey is world-renowned for the accuracy of their reports. And so Sacramento has virtually said, all you cities need to implement more housing. Thank you. Hi. Take your time. Whoops, hang on.
I'm recovering from a stroke. My name is Carol Sherwood, and I'm from Canyon Country.
Hi.
And I would like your opinion, instead of among yourselves electing a mayor, would it be possible to put the mayor on a ballot so that everybody can vote for it, not just for the council? Thank you.
Yes, that's possible. If it's just to elect a mayor instead of the council electing a mayor, I don't see that as a major problem. If you want the function of the mayor to change, then that could be a problem. Hi.
Hi, Steve O'Neill. My favorite improvement in Santa Clarita, I've been here since '61.
Whoa.
I moved here with my parents. I was a teenager. And the place was filled with polluting factories. I mean, filthy. And onion fields and pig farms. So we were off to a good start. Now the city of Santa Clarita has improved the place greatly. This is a much better place to live. And my favorite amenity is the public place, the bike trail, the parks, the open areas outside of the city that you have purchased and improved, and the connection of all of this. Mm-hmm. It's the friendliest place in town. You can jump on your bike and cruise to the coffee shop and greet everybody along your way.
Your question, Steve.
It's very friendly. Am I running out of time?
No, you need to ask your question.
I need to know what level of support you have for this infrastructure.
Say again. What level of support we...
Yes, what level of support can I expect from you for our bike trails, parks, and our native plantations that we've put along the river, like Discovery Park, for instance?
When we stop supporting open spaces, when we stop supporting parks, when we stop supporting bike trails and hiking trails, I'll move out. How's that?
Okay, maybe now you can answer my question.
Hi, Elaine.
Why Santa Clarita won't have an allotted amount of housing for people on lower fixed income? And that would include a lot of seniors.
Okay, I don't know the answer to why we won't have it or why we don't have it. I can tell you, from a personal standpoint, I'd be more than happy to study that and come back, poll the citizens of Santa Clarita, and if that's something they want, I'd be more than happy to look into it.
Well, Los Angeles does it, and it was done by the
Well,
mayor.
Los Angeles does a lot of things that we don't necessarily want to duplicate, right?
Well, I think
You've
it's
asked your
doing a
question.
lot better,
Can you answer,
so
please?
I'm waiting for an answer.
Well,
And also the indebtedness.
I love you, Elaine, but I keep giving you answers, but you don't like the answers.
They're not real
Okay.
answers.
Okay.
Question,
Next
somebody?
question.
Go ahead.
Scott Bentley again.
Hi, Scott.
Redevelopment. Might be only one of the four of you that understands that term, but I was into city council when all that was being discussed. Was that to get federal money to redo Newhall? I've got to ask you first because I know somebody else will have an answer. But my concern is on that, what has happened to that Newhall? Because all the bus benches have turned into lounges or urinals.
All the what?
All the bus benches have turned into restrooms or sleeping areas. So what was the purpose of the redevelopment?
Well, the way I understand it, I wasn't on the council at the time, but the state and the county and probably some federal money was involved to help redevelop parts of a community. those funds no longer exist. They're not there for us now. Specifically, the redevelopment funds are no longer there. So I don't know what happened to it. Probably, when we hit the recession, a lot of funds went away. But I will tell you this, have you been to Newhall lately? Have you been down Main Street lately?
Every day.
Okay. Newhall's changing. It's changing dramatically. We just broke ground this morning on the Laemmle Theater. We have the parking structure. We have Newhall Crossings. It's well on its way to being completed. We just broke ground on the Laemmle Theaters. We have brand new restaurants all over the place. We have a super restaurant that's going to open within the month. Okay, over there. And you drive down Newhall in the evenings now, it's not like it used to be. It's not dead. There's stuff happening. There are people going there. If you're talking in terms of the homeless, that's one of the things I said. Look, we need more sheriffs, right? We need to patrol that so that doesn't happen. And, we are doing a lot in Newhall.
Thank you.
Hi, Doug.
Douglas Fraser. My question's on the council going to districts and also term limits. Would you support that and introduce it at a council meeting, or do you oppose that?
I will support what the citizens want, right? It's something we have to study. We have to poll. We have to go out there and poll. And if the citizens overwhelmingly want term limits, and so be it. It's what the citizens want. We represent you. Okay.
How are you going to poll the citizens? How would you do that?
We have many ways. I mean, we can ask the city manager to do a citywide poll.
So can you do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, we could do that.
How long before you introduce that?
Too many questions. Let him answer the one.
Hi, Lane.
What about voter indebtedness? How do we help the seniors by getting it removed if you're at a certain age and a certain economic status? They do that in Illinois as well.
How does the city help the seniors get out of debt?
No, in voter indebtedness, like the bonds. In other words, for the school bonds example, if you're beyond a certain age and a certain economic status, there are exemptions for that. And City of Santa Clarita apparently doesn't have it.
Okay. Again, I'm going to, you may not like the answer, but that's something we have to look into. And if it makes sense, we'll put it in play. And if it doesn't make sense, we won't.
How are you going to do that? I mean, how are you going to?
Again, we have to study it.
I think you need to communicate more with the people.
You keep interrupting, Lane. Just ask the question, please.
So I will end by saying this is a big city, all right? There are 225,000 people in this city. And there are lots of different ideas and opinions as to what we should be doing and not doing. We on the council represent you, right? You have a voice on this council. And so you let us know what you want. We'll find out. We'll study it, and we'll act. Okay. This council does not study and not act. This council studies.
Time's up
and
on the
acts.
question.
Let's give Bill a big hand.
Again, thank you everyone for coming here and surviving this wonderful evening with lots of questions, and hopefully you got the answers you were looking for. Sometimes the answer to the question may not be the answer you're looking for, but it's still the answer. So let me talk about BMX. I think you got an answer. It's in the works, and it's going to happen, and I support it 100%. Okay. In terms of agendizing, I've been on the council for 2 years, never had a problem with agendizing anything. But I do follow procedures. I go to staff and make sure I know what I'm agendizing before I agendize it, and then it gets agendized. Haven't had a problem with it at all. But you got to ask yourself a question. It used to be that one council member could agendize anything. Now we require 3. Why did it change? Okay. I don't have the answer for you, but I've done some research on my own, and I think, I have an opinion on that. I'm not going to share it because I don't think it's proper to do that. But if you want to find out why it was changed, I'm sure you could do that, through doing a little bit of research. Okay. Please go to my website, BillMirandaForCityCouncil.com. Pretty much everything you want to know about Bill Miranda is on that website. So I'm not going to stand here and tell you, about my whole background and all the things that I've done in my life. You can go to my website. But I do want to say that I love Santa Clarita. I came here 35 years ago, and I said this before, but I'll say it again, and I'll say it again and again and again, because it was a great place to raise a family. Santa Clarita is still a great place to raise a family. You have no idea, I don't think, how many people want to move to Santa Clarita. You have no idea. When I go to the CCAC meetings in Los Angeles, you have no idea how many of the 88 cities, the 87 other cities, see my name tag, they see Santa Clarita, and they go, how do you guys do it? How do you run a surplus? How do you have a reserve in funding? How do you have open spaces? How do you have paseos, bike trails? How do you do this? And they're amazed. They're absolutely amazed at Santa Clarita. Well, I'm running for city council to keep it that way. And I really would appreciate your vote. And thank you for having me.